Welcome back to the VTuber News. This is Salvi, the one who resides on the right side of your screen most of the time, and I'm here now just to remind you guys that I do have a goal for, at the very least, until my birthday in June. I would love to be able to reach 20k subscribers, so if you could please subscribe and continue to watch these videos whenever you have a chance, I would really appreciate it. Just a small reminder, of course, and do enjoy the rest of the video. Have a big bit of news when it comes to Globie. Some verification of things that I have criticized in the past. It is sad. It is more middle management and upper management. The VTubers involved in Globie, number one, I will say this out straight up. The VTubers involved in Globie, who have been involved in Globie in the past and who have done anything with Globie in the past, have been amazing. They are amazing. They're doing everything they can, working against sometimes JP management, because I believe JP management is the big issue here in Globie, and it will be middle management and above, because they are a part of Brave Group. So, or they were at least a part of Brave Group, and this is something that we have Shizuko, who was a past member of Globie. Shizuko was Kiri Kilovolt, and we have other people like Bonnie Barkswell, and others saying some things. Here is Shizuko's story. My experience at my ex-job wasn't a dream. We were all led on to believe that we would get 3D in official studios, sponsorships, conventions, visits, and so on. Everything that publicly happened was a result of our own hard work. So each individual talent had to put in the hard work to get things done. That is not what you're promised when you go into an agency. I'll just say that. That's what we would expect. But any reasonable human being would not expect that going into an agency, that you're doing all the work. Sponsorships, I made that happen. A lot of things wouldn't have been done without constant chasing. I had to make a reminder list every single week to make sure things were getting done, and even then, some projects would have a delayed response 3 months or later or more. Constant presentations to them, explaining the benefits and detriments of decisions, how VTubing works, and what audience wants, with screenshots and evidence of successful stories. I do marketing as a full-time job too, so I had to balance that on top of all of this. That should never, ever have been a thing, honestly. Then my outfit gets canceled, because again, they didn't do things properly. Everything was always rushed. No care was put into anything. In terms of our own opinions, they led us on to believe, that they mattered every single time. Asked for feedback on illustrations and ideas, but told us we can't disagree or make changes. So I asked for feedback. If you want feedback, change things. That's what feedback is for. It was frustrating. We were in a loop for 2 whole years. I was also used as a comparison to others, told others that they should copy me and my content. Why? My content is completely different to everyone else's. Everyone has a unique style, and that unique style is what makes them popular. If you just cookie cutter everything, if you just copy and paste everything, it's not going to work. It may for a little bit, but people will grow tired, or they'll like someone else's personality or whatever more than you, because you're doing the exact same thing as everyone else. When it came to finally discussing the breaking point with Upper, they told me that I should not throw a tantrum. To be clear, I made a whole presentation to tell them what needs changing for me to stay within the company. I was courteous and professional. No yelling, no raising of the voice. They took a week away and came back saying I'm being childish. That is horrible. That is not a way to run a company. That is not a way to run an agency. The I know better than you child type of thing, that is not the way to do it. Oh yeah, you did a whole hour-long presentation, but no, we just saw you as complaining. We just saw it as you being a little bee or whatever. I'm glad I'm no longer part of the company, and I don't ever want to be. My full-time job is competent, professional, and will openly discuss things. I know every workplace is not like this, but I won't silently endure mistreatment, because especially when it affects my friends too. You have here, I mentioned that I was very glad that they got away from all that. Yes, a classic, hey, upper management, here's what's not working and what we can do to try to fix it. Tech, and then just getting ignored, shut down until inevitably happens strat. Many such cases, the worst part is I know you're probably only scraping the bottom of the barrel of everything too. Glad you're out doing your own thing and thriving again. F them, keep killing it. Mankind, I'm so sorry. I don't think they realize how much of a mental impact it has. And also what happened to being treated like equals. You're killing it too, dude. So glad you got away from all that now. Penny Puffball. Bonnie is saying, yep. Basically agreeing with everything. She went through the whole same thing. Kanizawa, strongest panda I know. Squirty Mimi saying, I'm just glad it's over and that you're on to better things. They didn't deserve you. Rainy saying, being sorry that this even happened. Alias, I don't know, from V4 Mirai. And, Also, big kudos for them doing it professionally. There's no complaints that could ever be made about Shizuko because she did everything professionally. Gitaili, I'm so sorry you had to go through all that. If I ever see your ex-manager, I will throw hands. Chica Fuji Lisa giving hearts. Other people, Lindo Abyss, who was a former member of Globie as well. S was rough for real. Now you're in control. You got this. Lots of people giving lots of support for this whole experience, because if you do know Kiri Kilovolts or Shizuko, or Shizuko she's called now, she's not someone to just throw accusations around. It's not. Lindo Abyss says here, I can basically confirm most, if not all of this. My experience, like everyone else's, was different. Fought for my dream sponsorship and then lost it. Never received another. Asked for local cons. Was told that they would take care of it, but it was never chased up. Made several presentations to keep ahead of events, but ignored. Even provided psychological citation as to why it would be effective. For content, I was told I was a sports bro type person. I should play sports games like FIFA and NBA. And funny thing is, I don't own any of the fan art I did during that time, so I can't post them now, unless edited. At a point, I was doing manager level jobs, providing locations for 3D studios, setting up possible deals to buy out a corpo that was about to close. We'll keep it anonymous, no need for speculate. I used to work at TV Entertainment, wanted to give as much knowledge as possible, so that he was working basically not for free, but he was doing their job for them. This is horrible. You're not supposed to run an agency this way. Used to work at TV Entertainment. They also were a part of Globie, and wanted to give as much knowledge as possible to help, but it doesn't matter if the person you're giving it to doesn't want it. You can only be positive for so long. Corpo is probably not in the cards for me anymore. I know not all corpos are like that, but yeah, of course it's going to be soured. Never believed in God's plan until the corpo that birthed Maeve, because before that, I didn't know much about capable of the actual people hired and paid to do so poorly. They were genuine imbeciles. Not my managers, the actual heads of the company. Like I said, the direct managers, they do their damnedest. Like the talent managers, the ones that are on the ground floor doing everything, they do their damnedest. But middle and upper management, they're the ones that yuck it all up. They really mess it all up. They fuck it all up. Really pretty combative on the get-go before debut. There were things that weren't making sense, mistakes being made, and unwillingness to change things. I'd like to say this was due to staffing issues. It wasn't. I was told by senpais this was what they've been living with for years. And then after debut, I started getting treated and spoken about differently by some of my own senpais, because I started doing things without waiting or actively seeking company approval first. I brought opportunities up and they wouldn't follow up or follow through, then deny me simple things. I asked for a finished reference sheet for my model and they said it was too late. I asked them to simply ask the model mama. After waiting weeks, they said the contract is done, so they couldn't. I asked her then, the email was available, that she sent me one within hours, meaning she had it available, no extra cost. When I came back to tell them I got it done, my manager, scolded by another manager, was in charge of telling me no, because why did she have the access to ask them? Simply could have done it themselves. See that the email was available right there. And so I checked my contract and realized it was unenforceable, and I started doing things, saying things, and not seeking their approval unless I was getting paid for it. They didn't really care, and then I found out ways of getting things done to get paid for. For me, it was an adaptation. For others, it was me being a bad egg. Some of my own senpais choosing to avoid me, saying I was causing trouble against a company who wouldn't respect you enough to bother saying happy anniversary in an announcement channel. One who was doing you no favors except for being a cash cow. Started actually feeling bad for a while. Maybe I am too much trouble. And then then the announcer shut down and said, nah. Being a director to startup tech and 2 agencies, this is the reason why Globie shut down. Honestly, it's the reason why Globie shut down. At a startup with no 2 agencies under me currently, I am not perfect. The agencies definitely aren't. The uppers are pretty clueless also. There are staffing issues because of that. There's miscommunication and role confusion. Drop balls. That said, the team will throw Molotovs to get more staff and at least get my talents a damn con visit. Thank you, Sarah Luceria, for being a rock of a gen mate. Thanks to some senpais who still our door always. My Sealies, my reason always. And thank you to the imbeciles that were in charge of BGU. Without you, I never had the bravery to become a director at a company. And then other people, same thing. Stories, you're hearing stories again and again and again. And it says, I specifically asked them if they were going to provide 3D to the talents, to which they got an affirmative answer. Yeah, people basically went to a convention where the corporal featured prominently. Was sad still. Was that a number of talents graduations were announced. I was hardly familiar with many of those, but I felt like random chance at the time. I sort of got pushed into a virtual meetup with one of the talents. I was graduating. I didn't have any particular attachment to her. When I started speaking to her, all I could do was cry. I don't know if I was able to get the message across at the time. I was having trouble speaking. I wanted to thank her deeply for all that she had done to make the corpo successful, that it might pull my gaze and reveal my favorite to me. I felt that I could ever gain such an opportunity if I wasn't there doing her best. Hope she still knows how grateful I was. The experiences you had and your thoughts about them, I want to validate you about them. I want to validate too. This is why I'm spending so long with it. I usually don't spend 10 minutes or whatever I'm spending around this thing, but I spend it because Globie fucked up. Brave Group in their upper management did not manage it properly. I had heard there had been so many whispers of JP management, which was in charge of all of all of the Globie side, even EN side. They mucked it up really badly. They mucked it up so horribly. And hearing this, it is sad that the girls no longer have an agency. But if they were suffering the way that they were, I'm glad the agency's gone, and the ones that were able to do their thing afterwards and wanted to do their thing afterwards, I'm glad they are succeeding, because each and every one of them are. And real quick, in case you guys forgot, remember, this is the company that did fire the person who became Squirt Mimi and others for one of them was for being in lore the child of a mob boss. They treated it as actual canon, as she actually was, that she was a part of organized crime, and fired her for that. That was crazy. This is that same company, and this is that same disconnect that they've always had. Ooh, subliminal messaging. Follow the squirrel. Subscribe to the squirrel. This is not a psyop. This is just me being a dumbass. Ooh, subscribe. They essentially told the court to shove it up their butt and told the same thing to Bricks and Minifigs. What is Bricks and Minifigs? Let's go over real quick what the heck is going on. It is a minifigure organization that it had its dispute over 200,000 Star Wars Lego collection and has allegedly seized a franchisee by a franchisee and not returned to the consigned family. Situation quickly escalated to viral online crusade involving lawsuits, stalking charges, accusations of police corruption. Because yeah, the police in Utah, holy moly, they're acting like a arm of the corporate umbrella. And it's a situation has exploded across Lego, YouTube, and true crime communities. Consignment 2023 has a large Bricks and Minifigs BAM franchise. They basically, a consignment is like, for example, me saying, hey, I have this large collection, $200,000 in this case. I can't sell it myself. I want you guys to sell it. I will give you guys a collection. You guys sell it. From the money that you guys get, I get a percentage. You get a percentage. And we're all happy. Store takeover. Ownership of Salem store changed in 2024 because corporate took it over. And they are not honoring. They refuse to honor the previous owner's consignment agreement, saying it violated policy. YouTuber Reckless Ben went in and tried to get things fixed and tried to do things so that he would actually get sued. Wrestling counter lawsuits, confrontation escalated in multi-state legal and physical battle. Reckless Ben and his crew were arrested in Utah on stalking and harassment charges during the investigation. Like I said, that was basically, since I believe the owners of Bricks and Minifig are part of the Mormon community, they were, working through back channels to get that stuff done. Mormons aren't bad. The Mormon community is not bad. But insular communities like that, and, tribes and things like that, when you go tribal like that, they try to kind of protect their own. It's not the way it should be. It's not the way even the brass at the top at both, both Mormons and police want it that way, but it's what ended up happening here. Public fallout. This video has prompted massive public outcry. People do not like the Bricks and Minifigs. People do not like the organization anymore. And we're going to continue because of what I just mentioned, that Bricks and Minifigs pretty much got the court, the Utah court, to make an order saying, hey, you guys, Patreon, YouTube, any place that has his Reckless Ben, this person here, has any of his videos, take them down now. You guys delete it. They're not telling Ben to delete it. They're telling YouTube and Patreon to delete it. A government entity is telling someone to shut off someone's First Amendment speech, which is why Patreon said this right here.
Dear creator community, my name is Jack Conti, and I'm the CEO and co-founder of Patreon. On May 29th, Patreon received an official takedown request filed by Bricks and Minifigs for media and accounts related to Reckless Ben and an ongoing dispute regarding a local Lego consignment issue. This is the verified complaint with exhibits. This is the request for immediate content removal pursuant to temporary restraining order. And this is the motion for the temporary restraining order and preliminary injunction. So after an extensive review and investigation by Patreon's trust and safety team, we have in fact unfortunately determined that Bricks and Minifigs can stuff it. We're keeping Ben's page up. And if Bricks and Minifigs doesn't like that, they can sue us. Patreon out. Dear creator community.
I love that. I love that. They're saying, stuff it up your ass, pretty much, in the nicest way possible. You are not going to make us an arm of you again. You are not going to have the government tell us to take someone's free speech and remove it. YouTube didn't do this, but YouTube also didn't remove their stuff. They're like, we'll ignore it. If they want to come after us, they're going to have to sue us as well. But I do love that the owner of Patreon, the creator of Patreon is like, yeah, no, stuff it. And here we go here. In fact, unfortunately, terminated bricks and and stuff it. And we're keeping Ben's page up. We have here names of AFPD officers involved in the corruption surrounding Ben's arrest. These are the officers that are acting on the behalf of the corporation instead of acting in the public interest. Lieutenant and all these officers here, we also have the body cam footage that is unredacted. Even body cam footage released, CEO caught lying to the police the entire time, even saying Ben should go to jail. And like I said, they're acting like a corporate arm, not as law enforcement. They are doing the job of corporations instead of doing the job as they should of public interest. People say this is what police do all the time. I will not go that far, but yeah, this is not good. We have Dexerto here with their side as well, which is right here. Patreon CEO rejected the bricks and minifigs thing. Conte revealed that requested June 3rd video was posted to YouTube, where he said Patreon had received legal filings seeking them removing it. In the video, he received official takedown notice. During the video, Conte displayed that were documents submitted to Patreon, the ones that he could, that legal told him he could put out there. And after what Conte described as extensive review, they said they can stuff it and we're keeping the page up. He then added, if Bricks and Minifigs doesn't like that, they can sue us. The dispute stems from Reckless Ben's reporting on allegations surrounding the former Bricks and Minifig store in Oregon, where a family claims a valuable Lego collection was improperly withheld following a change in ownership. Controversy has expanded as you guys have requested again and again and again and again that I cover it, so I'm covering it. It says, I'm glad to know Patreon can manually intervene when it comes to page deletions. F you, Jason Conti. F you, Jack Conti. This person does not like it, but guess what? Yes, they can manually do that. They've always been able to do that. When it comes to trust and safety, when it comes to their TOS, they do have the right to do that. It doesn't go against your First Amendment when you break their rules, but it does go against the First Amendment when a actual federal court or any kind of court, which is an arm of the government, says, hey, curtail this person's First Amendment speech and get rid of that. That's where the issue is. Shout out Reckless Ben. I advise creators to never use Patreon. They, the percentage, take us ungodly. Go make your own website and F the middleman. Probably the only reason difference here is that Bricks and Minifigs Corp doesn't have the kind of money to sue Patreon, whereas the other one does. And here we go. Bricks and Minifigs are finding out the rest of the world doesn't give an S if they are Mormon. And Lego scandal update, like I mentioned before, we have someone leaked, redacted, because here's the thing that happened. The Utah Police Department released the body cam, but they redacted a lot of it. There were minutes removed from it. They were just cut and spliced and removed. And someone leaked, someone in the department didn't like it, is a whistleblower, and is like, here's the actual body cam. And it says CEO made insane allegations, AFPD treated as gospel, says they're being extorted, Reckless Ben threatened to blank them, blatant lies, to gay men them, let's say, blatant lies about court cases, blatant lies about consignment agreement, a lot more. AFPD eats it all up. So yeah. It says here unclear how these videos were obtained, but the channel BAM sucks. Leaked it with much more footage. Unfortunately, most American Fork PD combos are still redacted, but we do hear them talk with BAM execs, and they just take their word at every step. Even more alarming, there's body cam from just days ago after Reckless Ben's first video. It shows a convo between American Fork LAPD, Los Angeles Police Department, reveals that Bricks and Minifig CEO has been pressuring various police departments to charge Reckless Ben. So they are extorting police departments, it seems like. Airbnb host and is friends with the American Fork Police Department, and the officer even brags about it on body cam after the raid. They raided the guy, by the way, because the person who is the owner of the Airbnb said that they were stealing stuff and there was stolen stuff in there, so they raided. So yeah, a lot of people are working for the corporation. It really does suck, but that's the update I have for you guys. It has happened, or in some cases, for some people, it has finally happened. The day that a lot of people were waiting for. I'm nonplussed about this whole thing. But this whole situation with Sumi Spirit Deity started with the whole situation of Shylily blocking her and then apologizing for it and then blocking her again because they found out who, the kind of history that she had. And that led to her getting a lot of dislikes, a lot of hate, a lot of, it ended up being a whole big drama thing going on with Shylily and her. And, Shylily just not really wanted to get involved with any drama to begin with. Says, I'm letting it be well known that I'm not the owner of Sumi brand anymore. I have seen people post hate about anyone wanting to buy my brand. Do not harass this new owner in any way. You are an awful human being if you choose to do so, knowing it is not me. This is the invoice that they're pointing out here, pointing to them actually selling everything. And down here, I had mentioned before that they were in the process of trying to sell their OC. They have sold it for $1,000 or so, and $1,200 at least for the full price. So for the person who buys it, unfortunately, there is some negativity tied to it. You may decide to use the same OC, but a different brand to it. That may be a better choice because there's a lot of baggage that comes with that name. We remain here on this page for the time being. I made poor choices. It does not mean I must leave the platform. Was never running, grew tired of my brand a long time ago. I'm here to stay with a new design on the same account. So you're not going to get the account. They're just going to get the actual, which is good. Very good for the person who bought it because the account is poisoned. It is basically disliked by a lot of people. A lot of people dislike this account. So the other thing that came out is Kawaii Captain, which is the one that has been suspended, is alleged to be a alt of Sumi that they use to dog different artists and do a lot of things. It's all allegations, of course. Hasn't been fully said. A lot of people are saying that it is because of this whole thing here. I worked on this drawing with so much excitement and love. Why did it end up like this? The whole scammy thing, the whole scamming situation, using it as a way to get free art. And that's what their allegations behind against Sumi are. And they're also saying the Kawaii Captain is an alt of Sumi as well. And they have been suspended for hateful conduct on Twitter, of course. And just taking a look at all that, just giving you guys the full rundown of the whole experience. It seems that she is gone, at least as Sumi, and may do the whole redesign or whatever for her whole stuff. Either way, I hope she gets better. In the sense that in the way that I mean she gets better is that she doesn't go after drama again. MAID mint along with Matara-kan, two VTubers who are, well, Matara-kan was a part of vshojo, and MAID mint was going to be a part of vshojo with Phoebe and Victoria in their own generation. Now they are a part of it, Densetsu.exe. But what we're talking about now is that Offkai Expo is saying fall for the charm at Offkai Cafe. We're pleased to have MAID mint or Mint Phantom and Matara-kan as featured talents for a match made in MAID Cafe, presented by Oshi Spark at Offkai Gen 5. Stay tuned for news about Checky meet and greets, exclusive merch, and much, much more. This is their MAID Cafe here. Very cute look there for both of them. And a lot of people are very happy. We had the Mint and MAID, Mint and Matara somewhat special. Now we got the MAID Cafe. What's next? Mint and Matara World Domination? Yes, of course, always. That's art at Renkai, always so cute. They both look so good as maids. A lot of people are just very excited. Over here, it's so beautiful. Hope I can get in. A lot of people are wanting to get in as well. That is not going to be a super easy thing to do, of course, because it looks like it's going to be very, very popular. So that means that, yes, it is going to be something that's going to be a bit harder to get into. But hopefully people who do want to get into will be able to get into it and have lots of fun. I've been to MAID cafes in conventions and stuff like that. It's very nice. I went to a Victorian MAID cafe, which is a different experience than this regular like anime style, like this type of MAID cafe. I went to a Victorian MAID cafe, and that one was relaxing. It was very relaxing. It's less of the moi moi kyun type of stuff and more relaxing. I did like that one a lot. I had my first tea there. It was like first time I've actually had tea and liked it type of tea. It was really good. It was really relaxing. I loved it. Recommend it for anybody who wants to go to Tokyo or any of those places. Recommend it absolutely. But getting off topic, still here. Offkai Cafe is going to be very much a lot of fun for Mint fans and for any fans out there for Matara and others. SEGA Corp is a Japanese video game company and subsidiary of Sega Sammy Holdings. It is in Tokyo. It has made many games. They had, Sega Master System, then Sega Genesis or Sega Mega Drive, depending on where you were, and, continuing on there with many systems after that, Saturn, Dreamcast, etc. Now they're pretty much just making games. They've been making games for quite a while, and they are a part of a lot of people's childhoods, a lot of people's early childhood's teenage years, just like myself. And with Sega Master System, then Sega Genesis. There's Sega, I think Sega 1000 as well. There were ones before the Master System that did happen. So there were several systems that did pep up the 32X. Several different ones. So yeah, this is something that is a lot of people's minds, a lot of people's hearts, and they are celebrating on June 3rd. They celebrated their birthday. It's going to be a bit of a shorter one for me. It's our birthday today. Sega, say happy birthday. Sega official. Sega's birthday today. Share Sega feelings in a reply. Ready, set, Sega. And for me, It was, Sonic the Hedgehog. It was, Sega Master System with Alex Kidd and other things like that. It was a lot of my childhood was tied to Sega Genesis, Sega Master System, Sega Mega Drive is whatever you want to call it. It was absolutely a big part of my childhood, just like Nintendo was. But in this case, Sega has had a lot of childhood memories, nostalgia for me. A lot of people are, celebrating the Sega birthday. Here, today Sega celebrates 66th birthday. Sega website in 1996 was Sega Online here with Gabe's, Rec Room, Sega Central. Happy birthday, 60th birthday, Sega. Here's some of the different systems, also Game Gear and other stuff like that. The different systems that they created. It is a big part, and it's still a big part because Sonic is still ongoing. Sega has been, like I said, making mini games for a long time, and they continue to make mini games. It is a big thing for many people. A lot of nostalgia. A lot of fun memories still to this day. Oh, Altered Beast. That's another one. Yes, I forgot about that. So yeah, and Sega did have a viral marketing campaign back in the day, before, viral became a part of the people's lexicon, with Sega does when Nintendo don't. I remember that one. It was a lot of things. You guys let me know any kind of memories that you have about Sega, because it was a big part of a lot of people's lives. Happy 66th birthday, Sega. I hope that you continue to make lots of wonderful memories for many, many people.
It's all in the mind.
It's all in the mind? Well, you're on my mind. I'm not. That was corny as fuck. I'm sorry. I'm stopping now. But here, they don't make it easy, though. They don't make it easy.
You seem the kind of guy who knows what he likes. So let me guess. You don't like it too sweet. You don't like it too complicated.
I'm sorry. Okay,
it
Chad, I'm sorry. Okay. You're right. I'm taking it too far. I'm going too. Oh my God. I don't think I'd be able to resist. Experiments. Oh dear lordy. James Bond. You're doing your Bond stuff. Bond.
Audio. James. Still on.
Tea time, yes. Lady, get some tea while he gets some fun. Come feed the content. Yeah, well, I mean, look, the game decided this was a good idea. It's not my fault. Who am I to complain? Who am I to argue? Thank you guys for watching, as always. And of course, take a look, and if you enjoy everything, like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell notification icon, all those things that YouTube asks of you. Really do appreciate you. Have a wonderful day.